Hi. I haven't seen you all day.
You haven't seen me all day. I've been gone all day.
No. Welcome everybody.
But I came in time to prep for this night's show.
I know, and tonight was tonight is going to be really great because I got to pick the costume. Whoops. Hold on. I got to pick the costume because I love the dance number that goes with the costume. But before we get to that, I just want to say hi to everybody real quick. Yes, we have a lot of folks here already, so I just want to say hi to Sasha and Linda and Diane, Nicole, Heather, Patricia, Barbara, Lisa, BB, my brother is watching, Nikki, Julie, Julie Gingrich, yahoo! I just wrote you an email. Emily Lard, Sasha, Seth, hello there, gorgeous. Laura, I'm so happy. Carolyn, Bill, hello. He's one of Brad Ford. Brad Ford, we went to high school together, and I haven't seen you since then, but I see you on Facebook, and you look fantastic. It's really always fun for me to see people that I went to high school with because, well, that was a few semesters back. So, you know.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was a few semesters back high school. But welcome, Brad. I'm really glad you're here. And Kathleen, Marcy, Jenna, I'm so excited. We have a nice big audience, and we just started. How was your day? I know actually how it was.
Well, then you do it.
My husband shot the lowest score
that I have ever shot.
That he has ever shot today in golf, which you see,
John was on my team.
Did you win?
Oh, yes.
Okay, that's all that matters.
Max win. Max win. A lot of crying and gnashing of teeth.
Oh, that is great. So, but you know, you guys don't play for big money, and that's good because you shouldn't.
Well, it's big money in my world.
$100 against
100 clams is 100 clams any way you look at it.
That's right. No
buys a lot of pizza in my world.
No tail. There you go. So I am really excited.
I could buy like a case of these things with that.
Yep, we can send one of our chickens to college with that. And so, were you a happy camper today?
Well, it was a very pretty day. First of all, in Vegas, following our earthquake last night or whatever.
Okay, I slept through the earthquake. John, you felt it.
I felt it.
Samantha felt it. Did you feel it, Dora?
See, the thing is, in our house, and we're 200 miles from where it happened.
Oh, okay.
It was what I could, having grown up in Southern California.
Oh, I've been through a lot there too.
We had some big earthquakes in the 60s and 70s all along. Mm-hmm. So I've been through some serious earthquakes that were really some mega damage, Northridge, etc. But this is child's play, you know, but it's a big deal, makes big news.
Well,
you know.
To be honest with you, 6.2 is not
it's a question of, but it's where is it? It's 200 miles from any serious city centers.
Right.
You know, we had an earthquake off the shore of California many years back, and you know, it was a big earthquake, but it only affected a very small area. So
I have to get my feet underneath me because I'm most comfortable when I'm curled up in a little.
But we had so we followed up the earthquake with an early golf round, and
did anybody feel it? Any of the guys?
Yeah, different people felt it. Most people in Vegas think it's like if you've grown up in Vegas, like any earthquake's a big deal. But it's like talking about windy days, and you know, if you live in the Midwest or something, or Chicago, so it's not a big deal for those.
So Tammy Gossett says, "I really felt it, and I live in a high rise in Vegas." So
right,
but
that would be more but that would be true because your building's going to sway a little bit.
Hello, Jim. Welcome, Kathy Jean. Welcome.
So here's what I was thinking as I was on the golf course today, thinking that I had nothing planned for tonight's show.
Yeah.
And we had loosely discussed this. So as I got off the golf course, you also brought up the idea of doing the Unsinkable Molly Brown.
Well, it's because the Unsinkable Molly Brown is one of my very favorite movies. And regardless of the fact that Mom was in it, I really love that movie. I love everything about it.
But I thought what we might do
so I wanted to
spread it out over a few shows because we have a lot of stuff from the movie. We have a lot to talk about from the movie. There's a lot of fun numbers, but it would be a crime just to cram it all into one thing.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that.
So what I did, like for example, tonight we have brought with us. If you go, I don't know if you can see this. Go in the wide shot, John.
Yeah.
Okay, so John's going to work on
John.
it. So I have a costume sitting off to my left.
Game. I see
that is the costume from the Belly Up to the Bar Boys number.
Yeah.
Which when I was a little boy,
I have goosebumps just looking at it.
When I was a little boy, my mother's piano player, when I would come over to the piano, I was little, probably. Well, let's see, for that I was 7 years old. So he'd say, what can I play for you? I always said, Belly Up.
Yeah?
Always. Just loved it.
After the movie or?
After the movie.
Right.
I was on this, now, so I was old enough, I was about 6 years old on the set of this movie. I remember it extremely well and being on the set, going to Colorado. But it's one of my favorite things was a scene where he discovers the gold outside of his cabin, because that was all on a soundstage. The whole cabin scene, obviously including the exteriors, including the mountain outside the freaking thing was on the soundstage. But they had a gold mine up there, and it was full of fool's gold. And when you're a little boy, and there's a lot of fool's gold laying around, that was mesmerizing to me. But that set is where she burns up the money in the stove. So we have the stove. You know, we have the cigar band ring. We have her director's chairs. We have her script.
Yep.
We have all of her costumes. And so we could do each number with a costume. We could break it up.
And you know what? I love that every artifact we have has a story. And we have the film clip, which is what I loved so much about the first auction. And
thanks to Time Warner and our sponsorship with them now, they have also provided us with the giveaways.
Oh, so tonight, we have movies. Are they remastered?
This is a Blu-ray remastered Unsinkable Molly Brown. In fact, the clip that I used isn't even from the Blu-ray, because I haven't even transferred this yet for film clip use. So you just worked on whatever. Well, I have a nice DVD copy that I've scanned and we use for promos and stuff. But like what we're about to see is off the regular DVD. But this is obviously all HD and beautifully redone. And I mean, it changes the whole experience. And that was shot in Technicolor, correct? Well, no, this movie was shot in CinemaScope in Metro Color. MGM, all the studios started developing their own processes, and Technicolor years earlier became too expensive. In fact, so gorgeous. Right, but every time you're when you're using real 3-strip Technicolor, every time you're filming, you're using 3 rolls of film at one time. Triple the cost. The processing cost is triple. The editing and printing costs triple. For Technicolor. Right. Everything is super expensive, but that was where color came from. Color film was actually invented way back, but it was like all hand tinted and looked kind of funky. For example, I always wondered about the Wizard of Oz. So the Technicolor was in Technicolor. 30s, so Gone with the Wind, Technicolor. 36 or 7. 30s. The first movie shot in Technicolor was Becky Sharp. Well, when you think about it, silent films were in the 20s. How fast that they graduated to talkies and then color. So here's what a lot of it became what the public wanted. As you know, the movie Singing in the Rain is them joking about how talking movies will never amount to anything. Right. But they also said that about color. They were like, oh no, the audience doesn't care. And truthfully, there was a group of people that were watching movies in those days that loved the sort of feel of a black and white movie. There was something surreal about it. So that is why the movie The Wizard of Oz opens in black and white. But the dream of being in Oz is color. Well, and then we go back to black and white. That is just my favorite movie of all times, The Wizard of Oz. And so it didn't win anything. It was panned. No, it didn't. Yeah, no, I know panned. It didn't, but it became a hit many years later. Because that's exactly why when you ask a group of people to pick one movie. So that year we had Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, panned. We had The Wizard of Oz, panned. By the critics. No, not just the Academy didn't give them anything. Okay. How was the box office for the opening of? They did okay. They all Mr. Smith was a success, but it didn't matter. The big winner was Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind. Yeah. So, obviously an amazing movie. Nothing wrong with Gone with the Wind. I'm just saying, it's like, does that mean that those other movies deserve nothing? So, but you know what happened? The world embraced them. Now, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington is like part of the fabric of our country. The Wizard of Oz is part of the fabric of our country. It's like not only part of the story of our country, but those movies represent.
That's is that with Time Warner Wizard?
Yeah.
Because there's just so much I could really explore in that film.
Well, you can explain all of life's problems in that movie, right?
You can.
Solutions and problems.
I absolutely could. It's got the most amazing metaphors, and most people don't even know that. So when they're watching The Wizard of Oz and they're seeing one story.
And a lot of that was in the book. So it comes from a book,
yes.
right? And in the book, by the way, the slippers are not ruby slippers.
What are they?
They're silver.
Oh.
So some of these things are done by the studio, but the reality is that story is inspiring and educational and all of the things. And by the way, so is Molly Brown. Molly Brown, this movie, first of all, the lady, Molly Brown, a real lady.
Well, see, that's the thing that is so great. I really didn't know a lot of the details about Titanic. Dwight, come on, you had a bath today.
Come on, show the world how beautiful you look. Come here.
Andrea Beasley, I went to high school with you. I saw you enter the room, and I'm so happy you're here.
Come here.
So Brad and Andrea, they're both here, my high school mates, and Mark and Kathy, welcome to the room.
We get Dwight on camera, Johnny.
Dwight,
there he goes.
It's Dwight's turn for his close-up. Wait till he starts to fall asleep. But he got his bath today,
so
he's looking
I
really
have
good.
no interest in sitting on your lap. In fact, I'm thinking about how to get down right now more than anything else.
That's okay.
I'll help him out.
To stay up here. He can just.
He's made an appearance,
but he'll settle in at your feet. It'll all be good.
It's my mother. He loved sitting at her side. He really did.
Well, he was her virtual.
But I think my body temperatures are too high for him.
They're high for me. When I cuddle up in bed, you're to your back.
Cuddle up a little closer, baby.
It's like having a hot water bottle right there in the bed next to you. You do put a lot of heat out, and I have a theory about people that put out a lot of heat. I think the more intelligent the person, the more heat they put out.
Wow. Well, I'll take that.
Yeah.
The movie.
I have run the gamut with
cold to hot.
Cold
we won't go there.
That's right. No, but Wizard of Oz is one of my favorites because not only the metaphors, but the incredible imagination with everybody that did that. But with Molly Brown, I didn't know a lot about. I always loved the romance and thoughts and story about the sinking of the Titanic. But until I saw James Cameron's movie, I had never seen the original Titanic. And
Are we talking about the one with Preston Sturges?
Yes.
Yes.
And I saw
Barbara Stanwyck.
Yep. Saw that much later. So I didn't really know a lot about the character of Molly Brown. And Kathy Bates played Molly Brown in James Cameron's film version of Titanic. And I absolutely love the fact that the unsinkable Molly Brown, played by your mother, her story, no matter how Hollywoodized it is, I just love the story of Molly Brown.
Well, I've actually read Molly Brown's real book, and I've actually seen her. You can visit her real house in Denver.
Yes.
And it's about 20% the size of the one on the soundstage. So yes, of course, there was a drama to the opulence of it.
Hollywood makes things bigger and more dramatic,
and rightly so.
No, yeah, exactly. Otherwise, we wouldn't want to go to the movies.
But the character Molly Brown had inspired a lot of people prior to this movie coming out, but in a much smaller way. There had been a play by Meredith Willson who did all the lyrics and the music, and the play was fairly successful. However, very small reach, in terms of what Molly Brown, how she affected people. But the story Molly Brown and the tenacity and the I ain't down yet philosophy had not been espoused quite as large as when this movie came out. This movie was a very big box office. In fact, at this moment in time, my mother is the #1 female box office draw in the United States.
Well,
you're looking at comments.
I'm looking at comments because there's people that.
But I have had. My mother has had thousands of people, tens of thousands of people, come up to her and say how this movie got them through their difficulties, inspired them to go on and to come from nothing to something. It is truly the story. It is the American story of the essence of America coming from nothing to something, rags to riches and all of that. There's a funny line. Ed Begley Sr., who won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in this movie, he says to my mother in a funny line, because she's getting ready to leave home. And he says, "Be careful about the love of money, Molly dear." And she says, "Pa, it's not the love of money that's the problem. It's the not having it that's the problem."
Right.
And that was the sort of horse sense that Molly Brown kept going with. She was not educated at all. She was a survivor from the Colorado Rapids and was raised by these people that found her and by men and just went on to find her way and they discover gold and become this rich family. But then she became educated and all that. But the one thing that she had that Americans have is this sort of horse sense, this common sense. Well, we've been talking about this throughout these shows.
That common is such sense. Yes, can it be learned?
Right, but not just that. What a valuable asset that is.
Well,
it's better than a Harvard education.
Well, it's certainly going to serve you better than.
No slide on Harvard, but
no. I'm just saying common sense is what we use more of than any other sense in business, in life. As far and saving yourself a lot of negative consequence.
Yes.
So have we we show the film clip?
Yeah.
Have we gotten a?
Did you get another shot of that, John, or you still have it?
Did we get a close-up of that, or I don't know if there's a camera that
so
can
I'll
do it
tell
here.
The story of this. So the story of this is she goes to work in the saloon in Leadville, Colorado, a real place that I've visited in the saloon. She really did this, and she went to work as a performer in this saloon, and she didn't know how to play piano, and she faked her way through it, but she could sing and dance, just raucous style. And that is what happens here. And so she makes up this funky little dress so she could go
at the dress
and
now.
Perform. And you see Yoda looking on.
And again, look at the shape that this dress is in. It is in fantastic condition.
Well, you could see it was intended to be sort of like a Western bar girl dress, because this scene, Belly Up to the Bar Boys, is the dance number. Now, obviously, none of this happened in the real Molly Brown life. But in the movie, these numbers, I just thought this number is such a kick. In fact, I'm going to make us watch the whole number, which is probably 4 or 5 minutes long. And once again, I've told a story before about the director, Charles Walters, not wanting, Debbie to play this role. But long before we actually filmed this number, and I was there to watch this number being filmed.
How old were you?
I was like 6 or 7.
And you remember this?
Oh, very well. Because there's a guy who's playing drums in this that was her touring drummer, went on the road with. His name was Steve, and he would go on the road with her. And you'll see the musicians were actually her real touring musicians. A lot of the guys you'll see in here, you'll see her stunt man and a lot of people that she worked with forever. And the choreographer on this later worked with her on her shows. I'm going to run the credits as I usually do.
Of course.
Just because. And when I do, you'll see some names that we all have been watching over and over, and there they are again. Now, one other thing before we go there, I have
the costume sketch.
Right, so you'll see there's the costumes, the fabric swatches.
Yep, I love
right there
that.
Of what it actually is made out of, and then you'll see down here it's there's no signature. Oh, there is a signature. You can't quite see it, but anyway, Morton Hack was the costume designer. And when we get further into this in the next show or two, I have a great behind-the-scenes film of my mom with Morton Hack, and they're going through the fittings and the costumes for the red dress. And the red dress was supposed to be the most spectacular, and it was.
And it is.
Yes, and that dress we have, and we've shown it loosely before, but we've never shown all the other stuff with it.
Now, we are starting to get a little crowded in here.
Do you think? Go to the number 1 shot, John.
Let's just see what that looks like.
Camera 1. Oh, no. Then go to 2. Well, yeah, you're right. Zoom out on 1. It's okay. So we'll do 1. It's worth a conversation if you just quickly zoom out. Okay. So there is the room
it's getting crowded up here. A lot of people up here.
Well, as you said before, there's a collective energy too to all of this stuff.
I have had goosebumps no less than 4 times since we started the show, so I think that there's a lot of truth.
So
to that.
you've got Carrie up here, and you'll notice what's over your shoulder, which you didn't even notice.
Because I barely was ready on time as usual, as per usual. My chair.
So we have Kat's director's chair, and you'll notice over my shoulder. Check this one out. Look whose face is peeking out. Look at the camera in the angle. You'll see it. We select.
Oh.
So you have my director's chair with my face sneaking out.
Yours.
I just thought that was funny. Yep. But so no, you're right. So I don't mind. There's something with the. I mean, you have to. It could keep going if we're going to keep doing this. We're going to have to.
I want to.
We'll push out. Yeah. We'll just push out. We'll just move out a little bit. But we still have the Star Wars games and all that. But I mean, I do feel that there's something fun and magical also about all of this stuff.
Of course.
But
we're going to be bringing more on. So for one that comes up, we should take one off so it doesn't get too
I think
crazy.
It should just maybe move out like that way.
It's starting to look like the house actually in here. It's starting
No, we don't have costumes really in the house.
We do have costumes in the house.
2. And they were there just for the party, and we just never took them down, right?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that's not true. We have my mom's gold dress. We have the red dress.
I call Todd the high-end hoarder because he likes a lot of stuff. He's a stuff guy. And the older I get, the less stuff I'm trying to pare it down.
Well, there are people that do that. They, a lot of us go through this, and including me, I'll go through a phase where I'll say I don't need whatever this is.
Yes.
But this is a little different.
Yeah. No, agreed.
See, like this is our history. My mother was very insightful.
Of course, costumes and artifacts.
Those
are super.
But everything around us right now is a sense of history to it, and it has a sense of importance.
Did you chew ice in somebody's ear?
Well, not tonight, but I
Erica,
have.
Get ready. Here comes the
ice.
I
have done that before, and I also.
What size was Debbie? I would say she was a 0 around this time.
Well, in the times of these costumes that you're looking at now, not at this time. When she was in her 30s, she was getting a little more buxom. By the time she's in her 30s, but she's still small. But that was like a 16-inch waist right there at best. I did have potato chips with me, but I was cautious to eat them all before we started. That way, you wouldn't have to hear.
I think that would be really nice.
No, I was what do you call that? Polite.
And my sister is here. Welcome, Kimmy. All right, well, let's get started. I want to see this clip.
So we've talked about the costume. We've shown you
the sketch,
which I'll do one more time. Just kind of fun. John, show the sketch and then show the actual. Cut between them. Can you cut back to? He's going to zoom in on one. I'll get the light out of it. No, they are just do camera 1 there. Not me. So we're gonna see this costume, and he's going to show you the costume again because I pulled a quick one on him there just to say to look at it real quick so you could hold this back up so you can see. We'll do a switch between. Okay.
All right, get ready. It's coming.
Zoom out a little bit on that, John. Zoom out on the costume. Yeah, there you go. And then the other thing that's kind of cool, stay on that. Let's see, stay on the wider here, or my shot here. We also have her.
Hi, Shirley. I heard you got your stuff.
These are her little boots, very well worn from the dancing around. Now those are small too. Look how
those what she wore under this dress?
Yes, this is the. Well, no, you'll see them.
Yeah, when she lifts the dress as.
Yeah, she kicks and dances pretty heavily.
Okay, I just had my.
We also have.
I just had my 5th set of goose flesh.
Over that.
Over the boots, yes.
So and then here is her script.
The script.
So we can get back into that afterwards, but that is a lot of stuff. So. And there's more other items that we've talked about that'll come to pass.
Well, Andrea Beasley, you were always starring in the High School Musicals, and so I hope you're here because you're going to really like this.
So you're going to have to suffer through the credits because the music is great. It's also got a montage though of the music, So here we go, and Johnny, off we go. Okay, wait a minute. No, I blew that. I'm going to start it back here.
Okay.
Here we go. We're also going to see Nugget in this.
That's right. Let's point him out. There's Nugget.
Now see the rooster on the left? That's Nugget.
On the rock up
that
on
would
the
be
left.
Nugget 0001. Now this is supposed to be my mother, or Molly Brown.
And who is that baby?
This baby is the most amazing actor. Watch what this baby does on cue. It's unreal. Now I have the fake baby. We have that also, because you'll see in the long shots, like there, it's a fake baby. Then we have, these are rear screen, but that's a fake baby, obviously. Fake baby, real baby. Now watch what happens when this baby finally makes shore. By the way, if you pause that frame, you can see a scuba diver holding that up.
Oh, really?
But watch what this baby does on one take on its own. Now think about what it takes. You've thrown a baby in the water, it does not speak your English, and you're going to tell it to do what? Okay, here's the cut. Okay, so now watch this one take here. All in one take. And with the look. That's amazing. There's Ed Begley, and we're friends with Ed Begley Jr.
I love that song.
Whatever you say or do. Jerry Gennario, Peter Gennario, with all the choreographer. There's your Metro color I mentioned. Check out some of these names coming up on the next card. Ready? Up. Hank Moonjean, assistant director, is a friend of hers forever, made movies with her forever. Up. Morton Hack, Bill Tuttle, and Sidney Gilleroff. Yes, there he is again, ladies and gentlemen. This is right near Ridgeway, Colorado. And the director, Charles Walters. And here comes Belly Up.
All right.
Belly, 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 belly. Belly, 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 belly. Belly up, belly up, belly up to the boys, belly up to the boys. Yeah! Belly up. Where'd you go? Belly, 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 belly.
Hours later. Look at her face. There's Steve, the drummer. He was her drummer on the road for years. And there's the dress, yes.
drink when you're all alone or with somebody else. Dilly up to the bar, boys, better have a few more. I never whirl with a three-toed girl or a discontented
Horrible example.
Like a girl whose name was Carrie. She carried her charms to everybody else. Her I had to marry or die, die, die. Had to marry Carrie or die, die, die.
Hilly up to the bar, boys, let your money be seen. Only drink by day or night or somewhere in between. Hilly up to the bar, boys, very good for your mind. A boat feet on the rails will make you fall on your behind.
Idle, idle, idle. I call her Griselda. She gives me and everybody else. Have to marry Zelda or die, die, die.
Got to wed Griselda or die, die.
Watch that. See that move? Now this is unreal what this turns into. You'll notice this is all one camera angle during all these dance numbers. Here we go. this move. Okay, I'm exhausted.
Love that number so much. Okay, number 7 of the Goosebumps I have right now. That was amazing.
What's amazing about it is the endless energy. And if you notice, there's really only 2 cameras. This was one of the first movies to film dance numbers with 2 or 3 cameras. Now, there's another number that was shot later in the movie with 3 cameras.
That wasn't one take?
Well, yes, much of it was. But you know that the interaction between the other hookers and her was obviously shot multiple times. But those dance numbers that you're seeing, like that last number where she finally bumps the girl out and they do that, I mean, those were done a few times, but I don't know which one they kept, obviously. But it wasn't many takes. They really nailed it. I mean, and you know what's great about it? It's like, what does that mean? Because the choreography is not traditional. It's sort of Western. I don't even know what to call it.
Well, hoedown.
Yeah, but I mean it was, but it's a lot of
square
stuff.
dancing.
Well, a lot of stuff is stolen,
in there.
That turns that into this
There's
raucous
that word
number.
again. Inspired by.
Okay, well, in a good way, stolen.
That's right.
No, but it's what I like about it is it's that that sort of Western roots thing. It's so much fun in there. And
someone asked how old your mom was at that time, and I'm guessing 32-ish.
She was 32.
Oh, pretty good guess. There you go. So also, as someone asked if that was her real hair, I said no, it's a wig because. So most of the time,
I thought she looked cute as a redhead.
I thought she looked cute as a redhead too. Most movies back then, you did not see any stars' real hair. They had to wear wigs because nobody's hair would be able to live through the perspiration of these dance numbers, of all the things. And so most of the time, if not 99% of the time, I think most of the actresses in the classic films were wearing wigs. Really beautiful wigs, lace wigs on the top.
Oh yeah, these were real hair wigs.
In today's films, you wouldn't imagine it, but most of the actresses in today's films also wear wigs.
And it's real. It's real. A lot of that's real hair.
Yeah, but it just for the fact that you're going to be shooting 13 and 14-hour long days, and you can't keep setting the hair. I mean, which is also why a lot of people lost their hair and their eyebrows and everything back then, because the studio would just shave eyebrows off.
Well, that's how my mother. They told her when they did that don't worry, it'll grow back, and they never did.
No,
ever.
I know. Do you know how many times I climbed up in the bed and did your mom's eyebrows? As I mean, she loved her.
She had them tattooed on.
No,
but it still didn't matter.
I didn't see any tattoos.
Oh no, they tattooed them, but it didn't last.
It faded then because
it did. It didn't last.
Yeah, I was up close and personal with that pencil, and
she used to say to me, "If anything ever happens to me, make sure I have my eyebrows on."
Your eyebrows.
She wanted me to put her eyebrows back on.
But there's an art to eyebrows.
Oh yes.
They absolutely. If they're wrong, your eyebrows can make you look angry, confused, happy, or. Then there's the Frida unibrow.
And nowadays it's so much more important because if you have your mask on, the only thing you have left is your eyebrows
I know.
to show emotion.
It's so true. It's weird.
You can't tell what people are thinking.
Well, and like my brother said one night, it's just really missing people's smiles, and that's so true.
I miss the shaking of the hand.
I've gotten used to the bump.
Yeah, I think that's.
I'm not saying it's good,
you don't like
a good replacer, but at least it's a touch. That's the way I look at it.
But as a little boy, I was standing. If you saw where the drummer was, there was the cameras. Obviously, were behind that position. They had built a platform to bring the camera up, and I sat back there and watched that number, and you can imagine, it was mesmerizing. It really was. It's mesmerizing now, cut together, but it was truly mesmerizing to watch that live.
So how far away are you when you're on a movie set that size? Of course, the set looks much bigger than it actually was, doesn't it?
Right. That's not huge. It was a big stage because you're on the MGM sound stages. So they had all the room in the world. And there is a lot of height to that, 40, 50-foot ceilings. But the room was not gigantic. I bet I was only 20 feet away from all of that action because they would let us sit in her chair or something just off to the side where,
Mm-hmm.
we were pretty good at just sitting there and shutting up and watching. Now, if you were to run around or something, you would have been axed, thank
Right.
you, but your history. But the people that were in that scene and in this movie, remained lifelong friends of hers. Charles Walters, the director, he actually, that watch.
Yes.
So after this movie was over, my mother gave him a very beautiful gold thin Piaget watch.
And inscribed it on the
Inscribed
back.
it, yes.
And I'd like to know how you got a hold of that watch because I don't remember. And how many years later?
Well, he was passing away and, knew he just had a certain amount of time. And they got together and talked and reminisced. And he gave her the watch back.
Oh. And when was that?
Like, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago. 12 years ago.
Yeah. So this was in the early 60s, I would imagine.
Well, that would have been, still in 2000s.
Right. So.
But, they stayed lifelong friends. And it wasn't that they weren't friendly in the beginning. It's just that he was so adamant that he didn't want her to do it. And then after he started seeing this performance stuff, you can imagine he kind of got on board because he was like, holy mackerel.
Well,
I don't know how. It was later that, many people said she was more Molly Brown than Molly Brown.
Well, I thought so because I don't think I ever met anybody that had your mother's will, that had the will. I mean, she could will anybody into anything, and she could she just had the will of, and no one I've ever met in my life. The will to live, the will to die.
But she was gentle too, she didn't try, and wasn't like she was, Svengaling people, she was pretty, but I mean, there's different things going on. I mean, what's funny about this too, that scene where
stubborn, there's the word I was.
Stubborn is a Reynolds trait.
And indeed, you got some of that. You're very stubborn.
Not at all. I have no idea what you're talking about. She flips.
Do you think you're stubborn?
Yeah, when not all the time, but I have my moments when I'm on something. I have my moments where I am tenacious and stubborn,
yes,
and unyielding.
And you also have your mom's will. I think you got a lot of that.
You mean the 12-page document, or
No, the will to make something happen.
She used to say, like when you remember that time when she said, dear, just let him do this because he's never going to stop him. A couple of times she'd say to me, she would try to get me off of something that I had started.
Yeah.
And then,
I
would say to her a couple of times, I said, wait a minute. Cause she'd like I'd say, this is all, about me watching you my whole life. She never stopped until the job was done or perfected. Until she had it. Like that scene you're seeing there. I mean, I don't know that anybody could have pulled that off. I mean, it's just, there's so much ad-libbing going on in there that what makes that happen. And this movie is just so full of her adding to it. The director didn't even direct her for 2 weeks. He was so pissed off. So he just stayed out of it.
Because he didn't want her for that part?
He didn't want her. She was too small for the part.
Did he want Shirley MacLaine for that part?
Correct.
I sort of just remember hearing this over the years.
Well, I've told the story before. I can do it again in case you have some new viewers. But basically, the director, wanted Shirley MacLaine, who wasn't available. Mm-hmm. And then the studio said, we're going to give you Debbie Reynolds. And in fact, my mom had gone to the studio and said, I'll do it, for free, practically. And they were like, no brainer.
Was it an MGM?
MGM
and
movie.
She was under contract there.
Under contract, but she also was at the time #1 box office. So it's not like the studio is making a dumb move. She's the big box office draw. They have a history with her. So the studio started pushing for her, mm-hmm. and he resented it. He still wanted Shirley. And my mom thought, I'll go and meet with him. So she went to his house. I believe it was at the beach. She drove down to his house and she sat down and tried to tell. He said, Debbie, you're not going to talk me into this. So I appreciate you coming down here, but you're wasting your time. You're just way too small for the part. And she says, well, how small is the part? Now she's twisting it on him. He meant stature wise.
Yes.
Shirley is several inches taller than my mom. He was looking for a much more tough broad. And the real Molly Brown was bigger.
Mhm.
My mom is small but mighty. You know, there's an old expression, it's not the size of the dog,
It's
the size of the bite in the
the
dog.
bite in the dog.
And my mother, you didn't want her to bite you.
No.
You saw her flip that guy over. So that stuntman's name was Alex. He was a great stuntman. And if you watch how that's done, she's got a hold of his arm and she looks like she's really flipping him, and he does that full flip. But, you know, you can't do that, obviously.
Right.
But if you watch that over, she flips that guy up so that he's doing the whole thing without making it look like he's involved. And it's really well done. They rehearsed that forever. And this is when he taught me how to fall, because I used to like to play fight. So he kept seeing my buddies and I fighting, and he was like, let me show you how to do this so you guys don't get hurt. Because we were always trying to fall over things and downstairs and stuff.
So where did you learn how to fight in real life?
From him, that guy who she flips over, Alex Plachette.
So he was a stuntman.
Stuntman.
But you couldn't handle your own in a fight.
Well,
I know you don't like to.
No, I never really fought.
But
we
can.
fake fought all the time. Well,
Right. So
I had to
does
fight.
fake fighting help you learn how to give someone a good right hook?
I don't know the answer to that exactly. I mean, I studied some different things just in terms, we studied different things. As a stuntman, you do have to learn certain things that are obviously good to practice, but I really wasn't a fighter. When I was a little boy, there was one particular kid that when I was like, in elementary school, who used to just push my buttons to the point where I would finally lose it and be forced to knock him down. But I went through school not getting in a lot of fights. I was much better at talking my way out of things.
Well, I'm just kind of remembering, and I think John might have been there. I can't even remember his name, nor would I say it if I did. But this actor came to the house. So I'm glad you can't hear from down there. Anyway, he turned out to be absolutely crazy. And he was standing there and he did something or said something. It was relentless. You had to actually put him down because you were right there. Yeah. And you had to put him down because he was going to be dangerous because he was off his rocker. And it was this fast. Bam. And he was on the ground. So where did you learn how to do stuff like that?
Like I said, I took some different classes and stuff when I was much younger, and we learned but it was more done for the movies than it was for, I was never trying to be Chuck Norris. I did meet him when I was younger.
It comes in handy in real life once in a while, I think.
My best fight story.
I can't believe you remember his name, John.
How could you forget? The guy was so freaking crazy. We have videos of this guy. It's unbelievable. My best fight story is I had made this movie called Together. Mm-hmm. This is 1990. It came out, and we were at the Cannes Film Festival. And my buddies and I had rented little motor scooters. And we were at the premiere. I'm in my little Armani tuxedo and got my little sunglasses on, looking really cool and producer-like. And the film is running, and we're standing in the lobby, kind of nervous, waiting for the reviews to start. And we had parked out front. And, you walk around a lot at the Cannes Film Festival. Long story short, I look back out there, and the bikes are gone. And I'm like, wait a minute. 2 seconds ago, those bikes were out there. They can't be that far. My friend's like, oh, the bikes are gone, whatever. I said, no, they can't be. You couldn't. They were locked. You can't get them that far. So I jog around the block, and sure enough, there's two guys in the alley with these two bikes. They're little, like Vespas. And I'm only maybe 100 yards away, and I see those bikes. And I see the guy in the front, and they see me, and I see them. The guy in the front has the bike running. Yeah. The other guy just got the bike started. I take off after these guys. Don't ask me why, but they just take off. And as the guy's just pulling away at full speed, I reach out and grab the guy by the back of his jacket. He had a leather coat on, and I pull him off the bike. And down he goes, bash on his butt. And the bike falls off into the side. Now, there's cafes. You know how they do in France? There's these outdoor cafes, and people are starting to watch this brawl that's ensuing. Now the guy's on the ground. I scared the hell out of him, right, because he flew off the bike. So then what happens is he stands up. And when he does, it's kind of like this. And he's, over 6 feet. And I'm 5'8", by the way. So way bigger than me. And before you could even say anything, he takes a swing at me. And
did he make a connection?
No, I went like this. I pulled back. I really wasn't expecting it at all, but I'm not a fighter. Like when the guy was on the ground, which a fighter would do is kick the shit out of the guy on the ground. But anyway, he swings. I pull back, and I just felt the wind as his fist went by. But before I knew it, I had returned fire on the guy, and he turned his head, and I cut his face. So blood spurted. Now, I've never been in a fight where blood goes anywhere. Blood spurts all over my white tuxedo shirt. My glasses fly off. He falls over this chain and onto the people's table with their cafe, and the people are jumping up, and the tables and chairs are flying like out of a freaking movie, you know, and the people are grabbing their drinks, and he falls on the ground. It even surprised me. But before, I wasn't planning this. Now the guy gets up again, and he takes off. So what do? Chase him down. I'm running after the guy. Now he cuts across the street, and in France, they have traffic guys, cops that stand in front of the street, and they direct traffic like this. Stop, thief! I'm yelling, thief, stop this guy. Everybody's looking. The world is paying attention to this. The cop lets him run right by. Oh, I just got so mad because I'd kind of backed off because I thought the cop. Now he turns the corner. He runs right in front of the two guys that I'm with in front of the theater. They see the whole thing. Emmett Alston is with me. He's a big guy, Bronze Star winner, Vietnam. I'm thinking, okay, I can stop running now because he's going to clothesline this guy to the ground, right? Lets him go right by. Moments later, the police arrive, and I am so mad at this point that they didn't intervene that I'm calling the cop Clouseau. Now, the press lady who's with our PR company is really worried that I'm causing a huge scene. And she speaks French. And I speak a little bit of French, but not enough. Just to get in more trouble, I speak enough. The detective shows up moments later, and he starts lecturing me. Like, what were you doing chasing these guys and causing this? And why did you do this? And you assaulted this guy and all this. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, you Americans think you can come here and do all of this? I said, whoa. Wow. I said, yeah, I remember when we came here and landed on Normandy. When you all were sleeping at the frickin', in your homes, having to speak German.
So how did this end?
It ends with me down at the police station, answering questions, getting lectured by the cops. So the end of the story is even more funny because I didn't know, but I had fractured my finger on the guy's face. Mm-hmm. I hit him like on a bone here, right? So I had to have my finger splinted. Now, the next morning, the headlines in Cannes is American vigilante stops thief. And there's a picture of me on the paper like this, holding up my broken finger. And the quote is, so how's your experience here in France, in Cannes, been? And I said, well, this sort of sums it up, doesn't it? And I'm showing my broken finger. Now, I was really saying, two things with one symbol, because I was so annoyed at that, whatever you want to call that attitude. And then them accusing me of being a vigilante, like you Americans come here and think you can be violent or something, like as if I'm a violent person. I mean, it was the most ridiculous thing, but I happen to, I will never forget that story as long as I live, because I couldn't imagine living in a country where you can't stand up for yourself, where you can't protect yourself. Thank God in this country, we have the right to protect ourselves and not rely on a bunch of bureaucratic, socialistic police to tell us what's right and wrong. This is the nightmare of some of that stuff that comes with socialism.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, here we go.
No, I'm not going all that way. But it is what it is. It comes with the lunch.
I agree.
It's you get a meal and there's a lot of stuff on the plate, and whatever it is, it's the blue plate special. And along with it comes the stuff I'm talking about. And trust me, we want the right to protect ourselves. We want the right to be able to protect our family. We want the right to be able, I really learned a lesson there. I'd never really understood. I didn't know anything about it. And there it was right in my face. How the hell did we get there? Molly Brown. Cheers.
I asked a question and off to the races you went.
Where's my soapbox?
That's right. Anyway.
I left it.
I love this.
I left it in France.
And people loved it too.
The film.
The clip, it was really good.
Well, what have people been saying about my rant?
Oh God, let me look.
Am I in trouble again?
Hold on a second. No.
Damn good story, I'll say. Hey, I'll tell you one other thing that I threw at the guy.
Oh no.
My great uncle actually died in the Normandy invasion. I threw that at the guy. It says my grandmother's brother died in the Normandy invasion. I was like, sorry, but my family has sacrificed. Anyway.
Yeah, I think How many of those espressos have you had tonight, hon?
None.
So
This is my
someone's
first
asking.
one. Okay, see, they
Must
like.
be the win. It was your golf win. I think that it just.
No. I had one of these this morning, so that's a double shot in the morning to get the engine running. We played golf. I didn't have any more. I was tempted because the boys, when I had breakfast, they had at the club they had to make. But I knew I'd already drank one of these. That was enough. What else? I didn't have any more, right? Nope. I had no more. I came home.
You have this one.
And I've had maybe that much of this one.
No more caffeine for Mr. Fisher.
You know what it is? It's when these some of these stories do get you jacked up because there is a side of me that is my mom, and I do get jacked up about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a little Molly Brown in me, and I'm not embarrassed to say. I'm proud to say.
There you go. Hello, Don. Nice to have you here. Okay, so let's see here. I think that those are all the questions that I had about that. Did you want to give away those movies?
I am. Not only do I want to, I'm going to. So but
how are we
first
going to
of
give them
all,
away?
Show me. Give me like maybe one of each of those. Just the Blu-rays, let's say. Just pick 4 or 5. So.
Oh, and we also need to tell people where they can buy these because I had a lot of people write me about this. Not
only am I going to show you where to get these. First of all,
they're really well priced.
Right. So you can. These are some of the movies.
They are our sponsors, so we need to.
So these are some of the movies that they sent me,
yeah.
which we're going to give to you guys, by the way. And the purpose of them sending them to me to give to you was to tell the stories, but to promote, obviously, the fact that these movies are even available. They don't have the budget to market these movies.
And a lot of them remastered. A lot of
the ones I have in my hands are all Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
They're all Blu-ray made. And of course, we're going to do the Molly Brown one tonight because that's what we're talking about. So we're going to do two Molly Browns.
What was the next one there?
That was Started with a Kiss. That was Glenn.
Okay, it started with a kiss. Susan slept here, hit the deck.
Well, those were the Blu-rays.
Okay.
But in terms of Molly Brown, we'll do 2, but I think we could do 1 trivia and 1 numbers because that way there's a random.
Okay. Do you know what trivia question you'd like to have?
Well, I will just think one up because that's what I'm all about.
Because yours are really hard.
Are they?
Mine are. Okay, here's what's really embarrassing. Ryan Clements.
Does he have trivia questions?
Well, every day he sends me trivia to go over to see if there's anything I want to use. And so he sent me today, are you smarter than a 5th grader?
Oh, I know I'm not.
Oh, I'm not. I was like, bring it on. Dora, read me the questions. She read the questions. First one I got. Second one I didn't. Third one I didn't.
Okay, waste
Fourth
one.
I
Give
didn't.
me one that you missed, and let's see if I am in the same world as you.
And then we'll do
because I think I am. I can remember seeing this before and missing a lot of these questions.
All right.
We're going to waste this one on me.
Yeah. This is yours. This is not a trivia question for them, right?
I don't win a thing.
You don't win anything.
But give me one that you missed.
Okay. The words "the," "and," and "a" are known as what in English grammar?
The, and.
The, and "a."
Is it like a pronoun or something silly like that?
That's what I was at. No, it's called.
It's not an adjective because that's an actual
nobody
word.
knows. Look, this is so great.
Not nobody.
Well, but I mean, no one's really playing, but a few people just gave it.
I want to say something.
Allison.
Now wait.
Did.
Now wait. Now that you.
Do you know what it is?
Go verb. Wrong. Let me tell you something. No. Before you tell me, I just want you to know that when I was a child in school and these things were being taught, I thought to myself, this is the dumbest.
Why? Because you think you'll never use that?
I didn't understand. It was never taught to me properly. I wish I had your sister as my teacher, but the teacher did such a bad job that I was so uninterested. I was like, what in the world? Why would you ever need to know this? And here we are about to give away hundreds of dollars worth of stuff. And you could have won it because you would know that it's a what?
Articles.
Like.
Okay, so
that is freaking way.
A 5th grader got this. Okay, so that is that. So now I'm trying to figure out if I want to ask a question off of this. Okay, now I know you're going to know this one, but this one's not for you. So this is for the movie.
Okay, for the movie.
And it's simple. So we're going to have to, it is number 1. on the new one from today. All right.
Okay, so this is for the Blu-ray.
Are you smarter than a fifth grader?
For the Blu-ray, you take it and show it.
For the Blu-ray of the Unsinkable Molly Brown.
Okay.
The question is this. What are the first 10 amendments to the Constitution called? Don't say it.
I don't see it yet. No, yeah, you would know that. I would know that too.
I got this one. Yes.
Yeah, you would get this one.
Okay. What are the first 10 amendments of the Constitution called?
There it is. There it is. There it is. Four of them just went by.
Okay.
It's the bill. The Bill of Rights is correct.
The Bill of Rights is the correct answer. Let's see who did it.
Now I'm about to get, because you did this, I'm about to go off on another one of my tangents. Okay.
Could we keep just the Cliff Notes version of that?
No. It's not the big thing, but here's the thing about the Bill of Rights.
Because I have a lot of
Well, here's the thing about
away.
these kinds of questions. Not that I think that all of it is. Jennifer Gans said the Bill of Rights. Yes. So here's the thing.
Congratulations, Jenny Gans.
I think it's kind of important that, we all have a basic understanding of these matters.
Absolutely.
And I think it's important. And when you become a citizen, like some of our friends have, obviously.
Well, Dora is a
they actually have to learn stuff. And
that was one of the.
I have run my own. I have run one of my own little surveys on this over the years. And I have found that people that become naturalized citizens know more than the rest of us, because they had to take the test to learn. And I think that is a sad, sad state to be focused at our education system, that our children, including the way I was raised, barely, I had to learn a lot out on my own because it interests me, but I think it's really sorry.
People got it. Thank God, right?
Thank God is right.
Yeah.
Now that's a big one because, and then following up all the amendments and all that, but there's some really basic information that is sort of critical to who we are and how we got here. And it's important to understand how we got here, so we don't have to pay for the same real estate twice. General George Patton said famously, I don't like to pay for the same real estate twice. So in a battle, talk about you invade, you gain some territory. And then if you sort of chicken out or don't know what you're doing, you lose that real estate. So we have paid for a lot of real estate in our history as a country. We have gained amazing ground and knowledge, and also our tolerances and our ability to even the absurd idea of letting women vote. These things have been embraced. You think about it, wasn't that long ago. Not that long ago when women couldn't vote. It was considered absurd. The idea, are you crazy? Do you realize black men could vote before women could vote? We have just, some of the absurdities of how we've gotten here, it's crazy, but we paid for that real estate. We've gained that ground. Let's hold that ground. Let's not pay for it twice. And the only way to hold that ground is by knowing how we got it, how we got here. We have to remember our history. God, I'm just off on tangents.
That was a good one.
Good speech. Okay.
I liked it. You held me captive. Did you see me?
Spellbound.
I was like this.
I was on a spellbinder.
Held me captive. I'm serious, really and truly.
Okay.
But everybody, I have a lot of agreement in that one.
Somebody agrees. Somebody
agreed
with me.
I'm smarter than a fifth grader. I got that one too.
Okay, so wait.
Yes, you are.
So somebody won one copy. We have another copy.
Okay.
Of the Unsinkable Molly Brown.
So let's do this.
And in fact,
no, I'm not going back to because it's too hard. I swear to you, these questions are really hard.
Too hard?
Too hard. It's not fun when it's too hard.
Do you want me to do a trivia question about Molly Brown?
Someone asked if you could.
Okay, we will do that.
Okay.
So we're going to do a trivia question about Molly Brown.
Okay.
Do we want to? The problem is I have to get her the information.
Well, I have this pen is it's like down to a little nub.
You know what? I'll tell you what.
Let's
make it. We'll make it. We're going to make this super easy. Where's the DVD?
Thank you, girl.
Where's the DVD?
Beauty. The DVD.
Oh, we lost them all. Oh,
Yeah.
here they are. I have them
Yeah.
in my freaking lap.
There they are.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm just trying to think how to get her the answer to the
Here,
question.
write it down. Write it down right here. But John, you're going to have to put the camera somewhere else. You can put it on me or on a wide shot, but don't let them see what he's writing. Is this an easy? Make it easy.
Make it easy?
Yes. Make it easy. Why torture the people? Your mother used to tell me, give the people what they want. And people are asking for numbers. Well, I'm going to give you numbers.
She'll get
tonight.
you to that. Here you go.
Because we have this necklace that I'm wearing right here.
Now, here's
gift.
the thing about this
After
answer.
this, yeah.
And here's a big hint.
Well, you can have a hint before the question.
Okay, I won't do that. You're right.
No, I mean you can
I'll do
what
it
you want.
right after I throw it out. No, you're gonna have to have. This is a person's name. I need the first and last name.
Oh gosh.
And
All right.
here it is. It's actually fairly easy if you know this movie, and if it's I won't do the hint. Who wrote the lyrics for the Unsinkable Molly Brown play and thus the movie?
Oh my gosh.
Who wrote the lyrics?
That's a who can get to Google.
No.
first.
And here's the hint.
Okay.
You already saw it on the credit roll. So if you were paying attention to the credit roll,
But you didn't tell them. To
oh,
pay
well, I don't
attention
have
to. The
to.
credit roll.
That's
Now,
the point. Todd doesn't do numbers. Kat does the numbers. I do trivia. I'm out. Okay, so it went right by you.
Okay, so, huh?
I love when
Klinger.
somebody said John Williams. You're right. He's done everything.
So Laura Klinger, is that what it is?
Laura Klinger got
is-
it. Meredith Wilson
Yes.
is
So
the
you
answer.
are the winner of the second copy of the Unsinkable Molly Brown. Laura, that is yours.
And I want to know from her, did she know this before or did she see it in the credit roll? Because I want to understand if people actually know this. Like, did she know that, or did she Google it, or did she see it in the credit
Laura,
roll?
let us know how you got there so fast. You still get the prize. If you Googled it, you can say so. But
I'll tell you what,
He's
if you
got a
tell me
curious
how
mind.
you knew the answer, I will send you a CD of
Look at
Debbie's music
Jen
with it.
Smith said,
you hear me?
"Come on,
Kat,
Todd, too hard."
I'm going to give her a CD of
Yeah.
the music, the Debbie CD. Give me one of those real quick. I'll
Who are
show
you
you.
giving that
I'm
to?
going to give it to the girl if she tells us how she knew the
In
answer.
addition to
In
the
addition
movie.
to the movie, you're going to get this CD. If just for telling me how the hell you knew the answer, because Kat thinks that I think up way too difficult
I
of questions.
think it's too hard. Now, my favorite. We're gonna go to the girl stuff. That's and one unisex prize.
I don't know that we really haven't done. You know,
No.
How many
look here.
guys do we have?
Look here.
Should I have more guys?
This necklace right here.
Do we need guy stuff in this whole thing? Because I don't remember really having.
I give guys stuff with the cup and the no baggage.
No, but say again.
Iowa, IOWA. Huh.
So you knew in Iowa because they had the play there, and you saw the play. Is that what she means? Do you think? Because
She can. Yeah.
well, I mean, I don't care. I just was curious because you're making these very, very harsh, accusing me of having
too
very
hard.
difficult questions, and I don't.
Well, it's the time.
Hey, it's a $30 Blu-ray.
I know, but people wouldn't have to pay that if they went to Time
Speaking
Warner.
of that, while you're talking
Okay,
about makeup,
so
I'm going to actually pull up that site,
Okay.
the Warner, because I thought about this
Perfect.
because they never sent me.
So
the
what
link
I
either.
will do while you do that is I will just move over here,
John, tell me when
and-
I'm clear.
and I think that he says,
Am I out of her camera?
It's okay though. So you see this necklace? This is the next prize. It's also right here. So I'll show you what it looks like there. Okay. I happen to be wearing it because it's one of my favorites.
Oh,
okay.
No, that's not what I want.
So she might be from Iowa.
Oh, because she was from Iowa.
Probably.
Isn't that interesting, though, that she was from Iowa?
but I have this
I did not
necklace.
know that. I have an necklace.
And I was just thinking it'd be nice to give it away. So here it is. This is actually part of my jewelry line. And I haven't listed it, but I'm going to put, I think I have maybe 5 left. I'm going to put them up on the website tonight. And all jewelry would be under accessories. But this is one of my favorites, so I'm wearing it. I'm wearing it with a choker. So this is the actual necklace that you would get. Oh, okay. Now, let's see, numbers. Shall we do numbers? People are asking for numbers. Okay. So let me get my pen. Here it is. Okay. And we will do numbers. I think it's a grand idea. John, can you put the camera on
By the way, Warner
a
Brothers
costume or anywhere
yeah, but Warner Brothers, you can put it on me if you want. Warner Brothers movies, like all these movies we're talking about, you can get them obviously on Amazon and you can get them on Apple TV. You can watch them a lot of places. But for those of us, like, I don't know why, but I just like to have it at my beck and call. So I like to own these things.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I do it. But you can obviously download them and watch them. But like sometimes, you know, if you really like a movie and you like to watch it once a year or every couple of years, I'd rather just have it at my fingertips.
Right. You do like to own movies. I'm always saying, why
do we have 5,000?
Only because you run out of space. So, all right, I'm thinking of 2 numbers. I'm thinking of 2 numbers between 10 and 50, and they are both odd numbers, and I'm thinking of them right now. 2 numbers between 10 and 50, both odd numbers. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, we're on something over there.
No, because here. I'm trying to find. I want to find the thing.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there you go. 2 numbers between 20 and 50, both odd numbers.
I tell you, they really go out of their way to hide this site.
There we go. Not yet. All right. 2 numbers between 30 and 50. They are both odd numbers. Tune in now. Tune in to me. I am thinking those numbers right now. Between 30 and 50. 2 numbers, both are odd. The first time I did this, we got it within 10 seconds. This exact same number, the very first show. Okay, I'm saying 2 numbers at the same time, just 1 number. No, you have to just put 1 number at a time. All right. Oh, God, here we go. 2 numbers between 30. Huh? Did you get it? Okay, we need just 1 number. You can't put 2 numbers. Just guess 1. Deb Tyler is what I'm seeing right now.
Like she put like a whole string of numbers?
Debbie Strang. Okay. Debbie Strang and... I'm sorry, Deb Tyler, because you came in right after that, right within a second or 2. So Debbie Strang, you are the winner of this. Yeah, some people say the number before, but they have 2 numbers. Right, we did see it, but you put 2 numbers at the same time, and we have to have just 1. 37. It's right. Let's see here. Number 37. Okay, so congratulations, Aunt Debbie Strang and Deb Tyler. It was literally a second that you were off, maybe 2 seconds. So I'm going to think of something, okay, for you, because that's what we call a. Maybe I'll just give you the one off my neck. What do you think? Just because that's a horse race, really, when it's a second and a half apart, right? Okay, so Debbie Strang and Deb Tyler. All right, there you go. That is that. The next prize is going to be the Hello Gorgeous kit. I can't get it open because it's got the, there, I got it. Let me take the brush out and then let me hold it up for you. The Hello Gorgeous kit, all right, from my company, Cat Cosmetics. So we have the bronzer, the blush, and then we have 4 eyeshadows. These colors are beautiful. I don't know what you're seeing on your screen because colors translate a little bit differently, but this is a full face color face kit, and it's incredible because it looks good on everybody. So if you get it, there is no question you're going to look great in it. So this is the Hello Gorgeous full color face kit, and I'm switching over to a trivia question. Easy. So let me just go on here. Okay.
And by the way, I certainly have located one of the sites. Okay, now this, look up on the screen there. You see, this is the WarnerBrothersShop.com.
WBShop.com.
Okay, now that's one for sure. And I was able to find what was kind of cool about this. They have a lot of, it's not that easy to find their stuff.
Wait a minute, is this Turner's company?
This is Turner have sold to Warner Brothers.
Okay,
so there is no Turner anymore.
WBShop.com.
And you know what? Obviously, there's a lot of things in there. Now, what I noticed on this site was that when a little while back, I went onto the site and I was able to. They have all kinds of sales that they run on these sites, so you need to sign up and watch for the sales because they sent me a link that allowed me to buy. If I bought 10 movies, I got them for $10 a piece, including Blu-rays.
And Seth Robichaux, I noticed you haven't been playing, and you need to play. Everybody needs to play, okay?
And why wasn't he playing?
Well, I think he got snapped at early on because Seth is only 19, but he has an incredible mind, and it's full of history and full of classic films and full of...
Well, yeah, and you want to reward that, right?
But now it's been a long time you haven't played. So whoever snapped at you...
It might have been you.
It wasn't me. I'm just saying.
See, look, there's the Singing Nun, for an example, for $12.99. So that's a that's a
good one too.
But
Do they have Goodbye Charlie?
So that's a pretty good.
Because that's my favorite non-musical movie your mother ever made. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. This is really easy. Even if you took a wild guess, you'd probably get it right. So here we go. This is Academy Award trivia. What famous movie? Oh, number 2 on Academy Award. Okay. What famous movie was the first full-color film to win the Best Picture Oscar? Is it you giving me goosebumps? Because I just looked at you and I got goosebumps.
That's good. That's a good sign.
All right. So what famous movie was the first full-color film to win the Best Picture Oscar? We spoke about this earlier. So take a Madia Garvin Smith. Is that so? Madia Smith, you got the full color face kit. And I would also like to say that...
Why don't you tell them the name of the answer?
The name of... Oh, Gone with the Wind. So sorry. Yes, Gone with the Wind. It was the answer. So congratulations to you.
You know, it's interesting. You answered that question earlier in the show.
Yeah,
I said... Actually, see, the key to that question is won the Best Picture. The first film shot in Technicolor was Becky Sharp. Some serious trivia there.
Oh. Well,
I think we could look that one up.
I'm going to just also say that Mark and Kathy Gans won 3 times the other night. And Kathy wrote me later, and she was really upset because she felt terrible that she didn't expect to win. She was just very tuned in to me that night, and we were playing numbers, and she got it.
It was amazing, to be honest with you.
Right, but she felt bad, so she wanted to donate the color kit back for someone else to win. So I don't know if it was just what happened, but you know, if if people get stuff, we can't really get mad at them because for what they know. So anyway, Kathy Gans donated back her makeup kit so that I could have another trivia or number and give it to one of you.
Can you see?
So everybody say thank you to
John,
Kathy,
can you
because
punch?
I thought that was really
Can you
nice.
punch that up, John?
So we're gonna do it again.
Now wait, look.
Okay, what?
Read the middle of that page. Read the middle for me.
Okay.
Right there.
Wait, I need my eyes.
All right, I'll do it for you.
Okay. Okay, then wait. Here
All right.
they are. All right. So the middle, color development. The whole thing?
Just a paragraph.
Oh,
one
anyone
paragraph.
or
One paragraph. One paragraph.
Okay.
One paragraph.
Wait, you got the Wheel of Death going.
I don't
right
care.
there.
Read the one paragraph.
The first one, Becky Sharp was the first feature film to use the three-step Technicolor
strip.
The three-strip Technicolor process, which created a separate film register for each of the three primary film colors for the entirety of the film.
Right. So before you had, the Gone with the Winds and the Wizard of Oz's and all of it, and Singing in the Rain eventually, and all the other films we've been talking about. Becky Sharp was the absolute first movie to use the camera to do that. And it's just it's too much of a trivia question unless you're into like a film class.
Oh my God, we'd be here for a year if we asked questions like that.
I don't know.
Who knows the answer?
No, but you have some really...
Seth Robichaux.
That's what I'm saying. You have people that know these little trivial facts besides me.
Okay, but you know what? I think we're actually maybe turning people onto classic films in our room, that some people are really into it and some people are like, well, this is pretty cool. I'm going to check that out.
Well, so, I think that's an okay thing. I mean,
so I don't want people to things to be too hard. Okay. All right.
Oh, you're saying that we might be turning people off.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that not everybody knows about that yet. They're just learning about classic films. So I don't want to...
when I was being raised, my mother brought us up on classic films that were really...
I was not brought up on classic films.
Yes, you were by me.
That's exactly right. When we started dating, we had a marathon of classic...
We're still dating, right?
We are still dating. Yes, actually, we totally are. So what we had marathons, and then there's some... I'm not a fan of silent films. So on Sunday night, I'm like, please don't make me, right?
Right.
But
you actually tell me that you haven't sort of loved watching that Harold Lloyd movie, for example. Remember Safety Last?
No. Oh no, I love Harold Lloyd, but I loved Charlie Chaplin.
But some of those films are pretty watchable. If it's a Charlie
Chaplin film, I will watch a silent film till the cows come home, because remember when I met you, I also collected I collected historical signatures on
you had
things.
a Chaplin.
And I had a signed Charlie Chaplin of him when he was older, and it wasn't signed to anybody. It was just his name. And I paid quite a bit for that, even as far back as I bought it. And I absolutely cherished that, until many years later when I did sell it, because sometimes that's what collectors do, right? You collect, and then 20 years later, you're like,
no, but it's okay.
Somebody else might really like this, and
it's also okay to shift what you're collecting, so you move your money, into something else, is what you were doing. But I mean, I have a shift. I have bought and sold things so I could buy something else, and that I thought was more interesting. And so that, what's sitting around us is a result of some of that.
Right.
Like a lot of the things you see could be just a shift in my collecting as well.
So Kathy Gans donated her kit back. She said, to give it to somebody else. I feel terrible. I didn't mean to win 3 times. I didn't really. It's okay, Kathy. You did it fair and square, but I'm going to do what you asked me to do.
I have to say, it was pretty amazing.
Have another contest. Can you see Dora in the mirror?
No.
Can you see Dora? Wait.
No. It'd be hard to do.
No, I did it the other night. I did. Hold on. Dora, I can't. I have no control.
It's kind of dark over there. I could put the light on her.
That's right. Anyway, so this is the kit. The Hello Gorgeous Makeover Kit from my company, and I'm going to go ahead and give that away again. We're not going to do numbers. We're going to do an easy this is so easy. It's just everybody.
If you hurry up, because I'm now done with this and I'm ready to go on another roll.
Oh my God, please, no more caffeine.
I'm jacked up and ready to come off. You can pick another subject if you like.
Put your fingers on the keys. because so many of you are going to know this. It's just who can get it out first. Books to film. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is the 1971 movie based off the book Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Who played Willy Wonka in that 1971 movie?
I know that one.
I know. See, it's nice when they're easy because it's just, no.
Well, I have to put
that is you already know the answer, don't you, girl? Yeah. Sasha Renee, crap. Because, okay, yes. So she's going to look back and see which one came in first. Remember, everybody, when you write you'll see your own answer first before anybody else's. That's just how these things go.
And by the way, this actor that played that part,
yes,
was unbelievably talented.
Oh,
I mean, very underrated. I know a lot of people appreciate him, but he didn't really.
She's still looking for the winner.
Oh, well, there were a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah, so she's just going back to see who got it first.
But that guy, he was, I mean, in a lot of the Mel Brooks films, he was unbelievable.
Sandy Lee is who came in on my
Sandra
first
D.
year. Sandy
Oh,
Lee.
Sandy Lee.
Sandy Lee, congratulations.
Look at me,
you won
Sandra D.
the Hello Gorgeous Makeover Kit. Go ahead and make sure that I have your address. Go PM me here on Facebook. And there was one that we didn't know. We still need Katie Schulte, your address. So if you send it to me, I couldn't find it. Please send it again because everything's going out tomorrow, tonight. So there you go. All right. The last thing I want to give away, of course, is the cup. People really like the cup. I'm very pleased. You have what do you have? You have a blaster in your hand.
I have a blaster in my hands because I was just thinking about how important it is to have the right to bear arms. And so here we are bearing arms. It was sitting on the table. I thought to myself, yeah, we have.
That's a cool one, but that's not the prize.
No, but technically this is.
Because Bill would kill for that, he said the other night.
Bill, which Bill?
The one of the people in the room.
Yeah, and
nice
this is somebody spent
or something.
The prop department spent a lot of time on this one.
Right.
They do that. They when they do
we
these
spent a lot of time on this because I designed this cup. So this cup is
full of goodies.
It's full of goodies, right? So of course,
I saw out in front of our room there were like 20 of those cups. Does that mean
have to sign them? And I do.
Or you? Both. You haven't either.
No,
so
people are buying them. And
so I don't need to feel bad.
Okay. We'll sign them tonight. Okay, so for the last prize of the evening, you get the cup. You get the no baggage. Remember, women or men can use no baggage. It isn't makeup. It is a treatment, and it brightens and tightens the under eye area. I wear it when I don't wear any makeup at all, or if I didn't get much sleep the night before. It's a crushed pearl. It has caffeine, vitamins. It's an amazing thing. Girls or guys can do it. So it is the cup. It is the no baggage. It is the hand surface sanitizer. Remember, you can spray your cell phone with it. You can spray your steering wheel with it. You can spray your computer with it. You can clean your computer screen.
You can spray people you don't like.
If someone...
someone's bothering you,
and then light a match.
Hey,
that's terrible. Did we just say that?
No.
So then
you didn't hear it here.
So you get the cup, you get the no baggage, you get the.
See, now there's someone that doesn't believe in, is not a person who has guns, and they say, but if they could have a lightsaber, they would definitely bear arms.
That's so funny.
I think we should keep that in mind. That's a good one.
Everybody has a right to believe what they want to believe.
I think it's cute, though. That's why I sort of did that to make light of it,
Yeah, it's, we don't judge. And so anyway, the cup.
The cup and the stuff.
The stuff, the hand surface sanitizer, which is awesome now that we're getting out more a little bit, but especially your phone and your computer and your steering wheel. Oh my God, we touch those all the time. If you only knew. The no baggage, and
now some of your friends said that Todd has my humor, and I'll tell you what's interesting about that is I think there's something to be said for, like, I can go to different countries and I don't really think they get our jokes, so to speak, and vice versa.
Oh, I will tell you, I
different
lived
cultures,
in Italy for 2 years.
Yeah,
and
in
one
Italy,
of the things that I thought was the hardest was not learning the language, was not adjusting to new food or, having to, it was the sense of humor. I felt like people,
For sure.
it was hard for me to get the Italian sense of humor until I lived there for more than a year. And they also didn't get mine. So, that is hard.
But even within the United States, there obviously are different senses of what people think is funny. Not, but like Carrie had a very,
oh my God,
incredible edge to her humor.
Very great sense of humor.
And it was she was hilarious, but it had a certain edge to it. Whereas I probably a little bit more like a Mark Twain or Will Rogers-y kind of folksy sense of humor, where Carrie had a very hard edged, esoteric humor. And I think part of it is because she was so well read. She was constant. Oh, look at what you're gonna,
because with the cup you get to pick a cat.
Pick a color.
Yeah.
So what?
I mean, we have other colors. We have light pink, and we also have a bright pink, and we have a black, and we have a white, and we have
in
a blue.
Stock.
Yes. And we have a purple, and we have a tie dye.
But you don't have enough room on your arm.
I know for all the colors. I don't. But anyway, you're gonna get one of those with your cup and your sanitizer and your no baggage. It's going to be awesome.
One person brought up the fact that lightsabers are perfect for social distancing. And I think you're correct, because if you think about it, this is about the right amount of space between somebody. You can say, hey, back up. Hey, you take it to a restaurant with you and say, all right, you're over here. Hey, you're sitting a little close. Do you mind moving in?
I'm curious if anybody's had a haircut yet out there.
Well,
have you gone to a salon? Has anyone out there gone to a hair salon yet? I want to hear what that was like. Did they have the plexiglass walls up?
I want to announce that we're going to go live next week at some point.
We don't know what day.
Not exactly what day. From our one of our neighborhood restaurants here.
Yes.
And we're all going to see, because I have no idea how they're going to even do this, but I know the owner.
Did you ask him if he's
Yes, I did. That's why I'm announcing it.
Okay. It's one of our favorite restaurants.
He loved the idea.
Okay.
And in this restaurant, it's called Spaghetti Western, after the movies, Spaghetti Western movies. So it's a beautiful restaurant. It's an Italian restaurant, but it's got the Spaghetti Western movie themes.
Right.
And my family, my estate, my mom's estate, we supplied the old movie posters. So there's fabulous movie posters.
Every poster hanging in there, I think.
It's all our poster. Well, no, I don't know about that, but 90%.
But the coolest thing about it is that that restaurant, the food is really good, but just going and looking at all the posters. So Todd thought it would be a great thing to do, to go on location, go to this restaurant, show the posters, because they're all original.
Give away the movies that relate to the posters.
Yeah.
Do we have How the West Was Won over there?
We'll give away a few of the movies, and we'll give away a gift certificate.
Here's what he said. He said he would do 2 dinners for 2.
Yeah. So now, if you live in Las Vegas, that will be really good.
But even if you don't, next time you're here,
you go to our favorite restaurant.
He said it would not expire.
Okay, so there's no expiration on that. That's good. So we'll do that sometime next week.
I mean, I was later in the week. It can't be. God, by the way, he opens on Monday. They already released the restaurants here to open with new rules. But he can't be ready that quick. So Monday is his opening date.
So what are they going to do?
They're going to open on Monday, but I don't know. That's why I really want to go. And I thought it'd be a great thing for him even to come on and explain what they're doing and how this is, how this can be safe and how this can be part of a rational, safe reboot.
Brenda and Chris McFamily, they do live in Las Vegas. We have quite a few Las Vegas people.
I don't. Again,
but the thing is they're saying, is it a sit and eat?
Yeah. Yes. So they have. They do to go food.
Yeah, they
do. In fact,
do.
Right now that's his business, but he does great to go food. We probably once a week used to call him.
Yeah, but they're asking if it's a sit, and I hear that they have tables outside now too. But I think that the inside of the restaurant is
no, but he's setting it up with spacing. So what they've done is I haven't seen it, but he told me they removed like 50% of the tables. Mm-hmm. And so they're spacing everybody out.
Yeah.
And
I love that restaurant because I'm real snooty about Italian food because I live there.
Well, and there's one guy there that actually speaks
really
Italian.
Authentic Italian. Yes.
You get to talk with him.
Lots of people there parle Italiano.
She is fluent in Italian.
Okay, so now
she never talks it towards me.
Are you guys ready to win the cup with the goodies in it? You probably forgot what it is.
Are we doing trivia or numbers?
Let's see here. Let's see what people want to do. Okay, let's see. Here we go.
And by special request, I just want to do this.
You're chewing ice in everyone's ear.
Somebody asked if I would chew. I saw the question go by. If I would chew some ice. I just didn't want to look or act too formal. You know, I don't want people to get the wrong idea about me.
Well, I don't think anyone could get the wrong idea about you.
You don't think there's any chance of that happening?
No, I think you're out there, just perfectly out there. All right, so here we go.
Numbers.
Everyone wants numbers.
Numbers.
Okay, last one, numbers. Then I have to go put away geese,
a lot
chickens.
of people talking about the ice here. I just want you to know it's a very popular thing. A lot of people in certain cultures, it's considered rude, but in this environment, you know,
right? I
get a pass.
Okay. All right. So the camera's not on me, right?
Me.
All right. Perfect.
Me and my sun cooked face.
Exactly.
It was 90. I didn't put my cream on. See, like right here. Look at that. I need some of her.
This is she has really
she
fast.
has this great moisturizer. And I didn't put it on today.
Did I just show it?
You'll know in a second. You'll know in a minute.
Wait, I'm looking. Because we're a little bit behind. Okay. All right. The number is. This is going to be so easy. That number is between 1 and 10.
Oh, I like it.
You like it?
I love it. That makes life simple.
I'm throwing it to you right now. I'm thinking that number. And Dora's got her.
1 and 10.
That's right.
Well, I'm watching, but I don't know what the number is, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. Who is it? Okay, she's going back to confirm. So we're waiting for that. We have the winner. Just got to wait for the name.
You know what's great about the number game, especially if you keep it easy?
Okay.
It does give
the number is 3.
Somebody a chance to slip in there.
And she's writing the name down because she's afraid she's not going to be able to pronounce it.
Now
and then she doesn't want to butcher somebody's name. You see?
Okay, so you're just going to hold the name up?
Yeah, she's writing it down for me. All right. Drum roll, please. The name.
You can't even say it.
Dude, is it with a ballpoint pen? Oh, your pen. Okay. Meredith Wilson.
No.
Mary Beth? No.
Meredith Wilson is the music.
Oh, Lion Rose. How cute is she? Lynn Rose. That's why
You know what? I totally agree with her. I think people get far too clever. This is why when I autograph books, I always say, spell your name, because like it's so esoteric. I mean, it's fine, but don't expect like Lynn. Who would write if you said to write Lynn in an autograph, you would say Lyn.
No. Lyn.
I would never do that. So I always say to people, please spell your name. Rose, there's probably only one way to spell a rose.
I love how Dora said it. Line Rose.
Lion
you
Rose.
are the winner of the cup. The no baggage. Just write me, please. PM me here on my Facebook page.
Straight out.
Tell me your address and what color cat Dana you want included in your prize cup. It's going to be awesome. So before we'll do the slippers. We'll do the slippers.
Has come.
But wait, after the slippers, can you go into your mail? Because there's a video I'd like to play.
Well, then I'll do that before.
No, as we go, as we're leaving.
Oh, you want to leave?
So they get to watch it. Yeah.
Well, then I have to prep for that.
Yeah. So it's going to go like this.
Which one do you want?
It's good. Oh, let's see. We're going to do a funny video.
Animals.
Yes.
Geese.
I think the geese will be the good ones. We actually have 2 geese, and they're fun animals. No, we're not playing that now. We're going to do the.
Well, first of all,
we're going to do the shoes.
Let me get.
And then we'll
let me get
play
through.
Been obsessed with belts for long.
I got to get through the
commercials.
The commercial.
Okay.
Yeah. So
once
I'll just
you get
mute
through
the
that,
sound
then,
for a second.
Yeah, mute it, and then
we'll
just fast forward it. And
I wear a belt every day, and there was like 3 things that always drove me crazy.
Okay, so that's what you want to watch?
Okay.
John, turn down the stage speakers. They're super loud.
Yeah. And then, but we'll do the goodbye first. But this is just something funny to watch so that they can leave our show with that feel-good feeling, with that funny, feel-good, warm and fuzzy feeling. So, all righty. Remember, winners, to make sure I have your addresses. Okay, so here we go. Melissa Grogan, is there a number I can call into order? It is on the website, catcosmetics.com. And yes, there is. Katie, okay, Katie, I'll look for that. Thank you so much. Here we go, everybody.
Ready?
Yep. There's no place like home. Just love it. All right, so we're gonna play a funny video and take you out, and when it's over,
And
we'll be gone.
pedicular.
That's right. So have a great night, everybody. We'll see you. What day is it? what day is it? Friday. We'll see you on Monday.
Seriously, dude, just run. Oh. Go, Bubba! Let us go. It's okay. Oh, it's just a... Oh. Oh. I don't want none. I don't want none. Oh my gosh! Oh, Glenn.
Dad, your life is horrible.
Oh, I can't get up, dude. I almost fell down. Justin, can you get up?
He might hit his head. Oh, the poor guy. Just trying to help.
Want some help?